This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time. Ready to shine, brighter than all of the lights. Cause when it's game time, seconds away and the game's on the line. There ain't no doubt in my mind. Beating the buzzer like, this is my time. This is my moment. You better bet that I'm on it. Ready and set, I'ma own it. Blast it to 10, then keep going. There ain't no coaxing.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Be Stellar podcast. I'm your host, Stella Atwood. This is mom producer Meredith Atwood. And on today's episode, we have Cooper Mery. Yay!
Yay! Welcome.
So, round of applause. I love doing that every time.
Oh, we
it's like,
do now.
round of applause. People are like, oh, we're doing that. Okay.
Yeah, we are.
So, yeah, we do
Forever.
it every time. Forever. You better be prepared for that. So, first thing I want to say is congrats on the games. You placed
Thank you.
8th. Did you expect that going into the games? Because in the Open, you placed like what, 109th?
Yeah, it was down there. It was down there.
So did you expect that at all?
Yes and no. It's like going into the Open, I was like, I'm just gonna have fun with this. So I went in, I didn't redo any of the workouts because I knew they were taking so many people to quarterfinals. So I was like, I'll just have fun. And that's basically what I did. And I was like, okay. But I kept my confidence high because I knew how many went on to semifinals. And like that gap from the Open to semis is pretty big. So after semis going into quarters, like that was a big chunk. Like in between that was like dropping the hammer for training wise for me, especially after like, okay, that's how the Open went. That kind of sucked. I don't want that to happen again. So I just kept my confidence up through the whole way. I just try not to doubt myself at all. And just was like, so I know they're going to take top 25%. Okay, that's easy. And then from here, they take top 200. I'm already 100. So that's like a guaranteed semis in my mind. So like I have so much time to work from here to here, just move up the ranks.
And then like, did you have any expectations going into the games?
After semifinals, placing, okay, so originally I was 16th, but I did get a penalty knocked down from the rings to, it was on the ring muscle up front squat workout. The line was measured funny, so they nicked me off for that. But semifinals, I placed 16th and then got knocked down. I was like, okay, I can make top 10. So my goal going into the games is just top 10.
They penalized you for the
funny line.
a funny
this.
line?
Yeah, so it was kind of like eyeballed. It was far enough away. Like it was supposed to be what, like 5 feet. It ended up being like 5.5, but I was standing on the line, so they kind of marked off for it. So I mean, we tried to like appeal it because the mats at the gym I was at are 2 foot by 2 foot square mats. So we sent like picture evidence, was like, hey, can I get a different score? Like, can this be reverted? And they're like, no, because it was measured wrong. I was like, well, only fair, I guess. But
That's crazy. And then it dropped you like 10 places.
it dropped me to 26 off of.
But
They added
wait.
45 seconds to that workout,
So
and it was
you
a short
actually were
workout.
further away than you needed to be.
Technically, yeah. If
So
not, not by
how
a
is
lot,
that
but
an
I was further away.
advantage for you? You know what I mean? Like
I don't
question
know. I
mark?
just think it's the way that they measure and all that stuff. It was
Okay.
just because I mean,
Yeah.
could have been lying. Who knows? So.
That's crazy. I don't think I've ever heard somebody get penalized for something like that, especially when it was
Yeah.
like you were further away, you weren't closer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There was no advantage to
There
that.
is no advantage to that.
I mean,
So,
luckily it didn't knock me down too far because that was one of my better workouts. Like I think that one might have been top 10 if not close to it, and it didn't knock me super far down with that time added, which was I was super grateful for that because it kind of scared me. I was like, oh shoot, let's not get any more penalties.
How do they, I mean, I don't know about penalties. Like, do they email you and they say this is a penalty? And like, what's the
Yeah,
process?
so when you get the email for them to like saying that like I think it's like approve the workout, like or like when they validate your score and they
Mhm.
send you an email,
Mhm.
instead of the email you get for the score validation, it's just, hey, this got taken off. It's been validated, but you have a deduction or
Oh,
whatever it was. So I saw that and I emailed them, reached out, showed them the proper measurements, and it never ended up getting fixed, but luckily it didn't need to. So
Mm.
interesting. Good to know for future things.
yes,
Always
measure
check
your
my
lines
email.
properly. Measure your lines properly.
Okay.
And
It's the little
remeasure just in
things.
That's
case.
for all the people listening. If you're
Mhm.
competing,
Yeah.
measure your lines
Measure your
properly.
lines properly.
Tape measure.
Handstand mats, handstand walks, anything. Measure the lines properly.
Didn't you do that semifinal workouts with the Subiona brothers?
I did. Those are my training buddies. Shout out to
Oh,
them. Those are my best friends.
We
what
love
is it
them.
like training with those guys? Because I've talked to them a few times and
Hmm.
they're cool and
I listen
interesting
to that
people.
podcast. Yeah. So I go to public school, right? So I don't train with them on the weekdays, but what I would do is Fridays after school, I would drive out to their place in Lake Wave, which from my house is about 40 minutes. So I go straight from school, like I'd pack a bag the morning before and go straight from school to their place, and then train Friday afternoon, stay the night there, and then wake up the morning and train with them Saturday. And then we'd hang out the rest of the day and just chill on afterwards. It was pretty fun. So
Oh, a
that
little
helped a lot. And
sleepover.
yeah, it was
Sleep.
literally a
I don't
sleepover
think they
every
call it
weekend.
sleepovers.
The
I mean, that's
Row
basically what it
overs.
was every
The
weekend.
row.
And then summertime, summer break, I did train with them just about every day. Every day except for like Monday, just so I can, because like if you think about it, you're training with your competition, so there can be pressure there. So I'd like take Mondays and train by myself or like just somewhere else, which also helped a lot. Because training with your competition every day can be stressful. But like they're my best buds, but like, we're still competing against and we still talk trash to each other. So
Are you as competitive as they? I mean, obviously you're competitive, but like they're hyper
They're
competitive. Are
really
you, do you just
competitive.
I
go right
mean,
in and are you that crazy too?
it honestly depends on what it is because we all have our things that we're better at than each other. Like AO is usually pretty good with his like with the metcons and stuff like that. Kulani's really good with like the gymnastics and stuff like that, and then I'm good with the strength stuff. So every time there's like a workout that has like one like a big portion of either one of those things, we're always like, oh, I'm gonna, talk and we're gonna talk trash about that specific one, and we're always trying to beat each other in workouts and stuff like that. So, but I mean, it's good because it helps to us to push and train harder in the end. So it
Yeah.
definitely is nice training with them with the
So
competitiveness.
would you say that's kind of what helped you become a better athlete this past year?
1,000%. Like if it because I would have no gauge on where I am actually. So them being having the past experience in the games, especially Elijah, he's the one who would coach us a lot of the time. I would it's good to know because if he said it was a good performance, then I'd be like, okay, this is going in the right direction. This is a strong suit, whatever. This is weak sauce. Like I can just move and adjust different things depending on how I stack up against them in workouts, if that makes any sense. So having the
Yeah.
gauge and the people to push you when things got rough, it helped a lot.
Now you said you were good at the heavy lifting, but wasn't your best event like the handstand walk event?
It was the handstand walk event. I could go off on a whole thing about that event.
All right, let's go. Bring it
We just
So
on.
talked to the Simeone brothers when like Sunday and they did
Yeah.
their
mhm.
going off. So you're more than
You're
welcome if
you're
you feel
welcome
so
to
Yeah.
go
engaged.
off.
So I mean, I'm sure what y'all said, but my side of the story is I wish they had a better gauge of who crossed the finish line at whatever time. I was talking to Ty Jenkins in the back of the warm-up area, and he was saying how Wadapalooza one year they had like a podium, like a with a button on top, which I think that would have been a way better thing so they could know and have the exact times. And if he's listening, Caden Stein, he's a great guy. He played it by the rules, which was really smart. It was what just something had to be touching the mat, hand or foot. I had my foot as he had his hand. So his hand touched the mat like boom, and then my foot was like the split second afterwards. So if there was like a button, I could have reached up and pressed it before he got to it, and I could have won that event. Just saying. And there was all the other inconsistencies with the stopwatches and stuff like that. But I mean, looking back also, I need to push the sled a little bit faster too. But my handstand walks are great.
Do you have any like tips for somebody who struggles with going fast on their hands, not just long distance, just like fast?
Um, I mean, you can think of it a lot like running. Like when you're sprinting, um, you tend to lean forward more, right? So that's what I like to think. I like to think I need to lean more. Like so when I'll lean a little bit more, and then because we don't really have hamstrings on our arms to pull this way when you're handstand walking. It's like mainly your lat. So I think of it as just lean more and just cycle my hands faster. Like, I guess increase my cadence of my hands pretty much as I'm leaning. So I'm basically just falling and catching myself faster rather than like pulling myself forward. Because if you pull yourself forward, you'll get under yourself and you'll end up having to come
Mhm.
down.
That is
So
like
that's
so brilliant. We don't have hamstrings on our arms.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean,
but
because you think when you
right.
run, it's like
Yeah.
you're using your hamstrings to like, help move your legs back and forth faster. So I mean, you can't really do that with your arms. So just lean and move your hands faster.
That's kind of
Wow.
brilliant.
Yeah, I remember we were practicing for like maybe a week and a half, like every once in a while, just 40-foot handstand sprints. I don't remember what I got down to, but I remember I'm pretty sure it was less than mm, it was less than 5 or 6 seconds for 40 feet. I th
What?
that could be a stretch. I think it was less than 6 seconds.
I
I
don't
have to
think I
go
could
back and
run
check,
that
but
fast.
I
well,
don't think
I mean, it's only 40 feet. I have the video on my phone. I could look back and go on the time, but that could be a stretch. I don't remember the exact number, but I just remember it being extremely fast. And I remember me and Kulani were going back at each other. Like I would get the fast time, and then he'd end up beating it a couple of days later, and then we just go back and forth for like 2 weeks leading up to the games. So that was pretty fun. Like we ended up going by the pit gym earlier in the week, and we were practicing it, and people were like, "Holy cow!" Like I remember they were like looking, and they were like, "Oh, that is fast."
that I'm
So,
just having to process that right now because that's really fast.
dude,
That's
I
really
watched the
fast.
video back of both of us doing it, and it just doesn't look real.
Oh my gosh, send me the
It's so
video.
strange.
Send me
I
the
can
video.
send you the
We
video. I can
We
do it
can
after.
okay, well we can play it right now if you
Oh,
want
okay. I
to
can send
here.
it to you.
I'll pause it real quick and you can
It was definitely, I think it was sub 7.
all right.
That's crazy. I don't even know how
I'm pretty
fast I've ever done
Oh my
40.
gosh. Okay, hold on. I gotta share the screen.
Please pull this up. I
I'm
gotta see
gonna,
this.
but I was like, I accidentally hit play. It looks like you're faking it. Okay, here we go.
I know it doesn't look real.
Where's my share screen?
I'm trying to go
I'm
back.
in charge here. Why am I not allowing myself to share the screen? Hold on. Okay. Share. Share. Here we go. All right, you
Maybe it
ready?
was sub 8 or something like that, but yeah.
Mm, It's glitch, bro. What? What? I'm confused.
It looks slow because
Why?
it's a little dragging behind, but
We're gonna
Why
do that
are
again.
you like?
I'm going again.
It's what? Uh,
Wow.
yeah,
Did,
it
did
was.
I hear Kulani say
it's
that was
just
slow?
I said that was slow because it
Oh,
felt slow, and I look back at the time, and it was like some stupid fast time. I was like, okay,
and your
and then
feet are
like
like,
yeah,
yeah,
like
because that's the
your
thing that
left
helps.
leg is just like ee.
It kind of helps you throw your hands forward more, from what I've noticed. At least going fast. Like if it's just for distance, I won't do that as much, but going fast, I will.
do you feel like when you do that, like when you started to move your feet more, is it like a rhythm of running or is it just like a just something to move you forward? Like, I
When I'm
mean,
moving my feet, I
yeah.
usually what it feels like I'm doing, it just feels like I'm kind of alternating. Like whichever hand is going forward, I feel like either that leg is forward or that leg is back. I think it's that leg is forward because it basically it just helps me, I guess, throw my momentum forward without like
Mhm.
falling over, I guess. Because like I'm still leaning a lot, but I don't know how to describe it. I just helps. It's
It
like,
just is.
It just
yeah,
is.
because I mean, I'm leaning forward more, but I'm also throwing my legs so able to move my momentum faster, if that
Mm.
makes any kind of sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
I
That's
I
probably
was
how I
mean,
would
wondering.
put
Like,
it.
is it more of a like a
it's just like
projection? I don't
running.
know.
Like
I
the
know.
more you move your arms and running, the faster you go with your legs.
I mean, okay, I mean, I can think of it like this. Like, imagine running without pulling your leg back. It would just look stupid and be like just like a stride almost, like a walk even.
Yeah.
But like when you're running, you pull your leg back, and I guess that's kind of what I'm mimicking with my hand. I don't know, but that's how I would think about it anyways.
So like I gotta try this. I gotta try that tomorrow or
Yeah, you're
something.
so like
I'm
upright.
so like vertical and then my feet stay straight
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not fast at all.
Mm-hmm.
But you just got proficient like in the
I
last
just,
six
but
months,
like
really.
I
So
haven't learned to go fast. I've just learned to go longer. So like I can do 50 feet unbroken, which
hmm
is not a lot.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
But I was barely able to do 10 feet a year ago.
Which is phenomenal. That's a great improvement.
So
I
there's
mean,
my
once you're able
explanation.
to do farther distances, you'll be able to start eventually going faster because you'll build that strength upside down.
So yeah, basically I've learned that handstand walking is basically running. Well, it is on your hands, but like they're
I
very
mean,
similar.
yeah, it's
Very
weird.
similar things.
It is weird how similar it is. I mean, also too, I used to have this thing when I first started CrossFit because I was the gymnast for 8 years before I started CrossFit. So I had to break that habit when handstand walking because my feet, I say break the habit like it's a bad thing. It's good to be tight with your feet and stuff like that because it helps you be more stacked and like stay tight when you're in your handstand, which it helps you hold it. But like handstand walking, I've noticed, at least for me, it helps to be able to kick my feet because like it helps me to go faster. Like even in 50-foot increments, like I'll still end up kicking my feet just because so I can go a little bit faster. So
Hmm,
yeah,
cool.
fun fact.
I wonder if
That's
I'll dream about handstand walking
I
tonight.
probably will.
I have these weird dreams, Cooper, where I think I can handstand walk. I cannot. I cannot. But like I'll just in my dream, I'm walking on my hands, like to go
Huh,
places, like time to leave, and I walk on my hands, and it's
really
this recurring weird dream, and I cannot. I mean, I do not try,
interesting. Interesting.
but
I mean,
maybe tonight I will kick in my
you
dream.
haven't tried to
I know,
handstand walk.
but I'm so, like I
You
dream
should
about it so
try.
much. I feel like I can do it, which I know is completely false. Anyway, not about
I
me.
mean, I'm sure you could work up to it though.
Yeah.
I'm
Start by
sure.
kicking up on a wall and
I mean, I
then
can kick up on. I can hold a handstand. I just fall down.
So then just like walk away from the
Just
wall.
walk faster. Just
just
walk on
just
your hands.
do it.
You
Like
CrossFit kids,
not a big
just
deal.
do it.
So how did you go from doing gymnastics for 8 years to doing CrossFit?
Okay, so basically it was kind of like our gymnastics coach. We were at this one gym that had a pretty good team, and then our coach got offered to go up to Colorado for basically a better team and like way better pay, which at the time, like that's honestly a pretty good offer that I don't think anyone really turned down. So we all got moved over to this new gym, and the new gym, it was cool and it was fun for a while, but our coach was not the best, and it just kind of just made it unfun. Like, don't get me wrong, gymnastics are super fun. Like, there are times where I'll be sitting back and be like, dang, I wish I never quit. But it got to the point too where the coach wasn't the best, and I also had a bigger build, so I was progressing lower than all these other guys because
Mm.
they're thinner guys, and they have like this more slim builds, so they were able to get all these body weight movements better because they didn't have to have as much muscle because they didn't weigh as much. So I was like, you know what? I'll quit this. And then my mom was like, well, you got to play something, so I'll give you a little bit to figure out what you want to do. I was like, okay. And then at the time, she had her CrossFit L2 because she'd been coaching CrossFit since I was super, super young. So I was like, okay, I'll just go in here. So I went in for a workout, and I was like, huh, I kind of like this. I remember it was deadlifts and rowing, which oddly enough, I'm pretty good at rowing nowadays.
And how old were you
Which is kind of
at
cool.
this point?
At 13-ish, because I did gymnastics from when I was 4 to 12.
Mhm.
So I was probably around 12, 13 even when I started. I remember that workout, and then I just every few times a week I'd come back and just keep on showing up because I couldn't figure out anything else to do. I was like, well, this is working, so I'm just gonna keep doing this, and if anything shows up, cool. If not, I'll just keep doing this. So I kept doing that. I remember I got moved, and we had a next gen class, which is basically a bunch of teenagers, because at the time we had a lot of teenagers that were going to our gym. So I got to be in that before I was even really a teenager. I think you had to be like 14 to be in it, and I was like 13 at the time. So I was in that class, and I got to race the teenagers in a lot of stuff and beat them in a lot of stuff, usually the gymnastics movements. And then I kept showing up even after they all like graduated high school and moved out. I was just still there, still training, and I enjoyed it a lot. Ended up getting pretty strong. And I just enjoyed seeing myself improve in places or like in things that I'm usually not good at, which is like my biggest thing. Like I used to suck at CrossFit, like like CrossFit workouts. I used to be horrible at them. And now
I
that,
was like 200 and something in the open last year.
yeah, you looked at all my stats.
Dude, that's what I look on everybody's stats before these
She's
Yeah.
podcasts.
like,
No, I study. Like I have questions here. I study these people.
Yeah, I mean, last year too is also kind of like I was getting kind of burnt out last year, so I was like, I'm just gonna take it easy, have fun, which is what I did, and then I went into TFX, and I was like, well, I like this competing thing, but I'm extremely unfit right now. Like I was almost TFX, you know, the TFX competition, right? Out
Hmm.
in Taylor, Texas. Um, I did that at the 2023 TFX. I was the same weight I was at the games this year, but it was way less muscle. So I was super fluffy then too. I was still able to move a lot of weight, but like just anything aerobic was super bad. So like over, and that also too, that's when I knew I could make the games. Like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna shoot for it. I think I can do it. I'm just not gonna doubt myself and just see where it goes. And it's basically what I did. I think October of last year is when I finally, okay, actually no, let me go back here. After TFX, I was in football at school, which is one of the things that helped me to get strong because we go to football practice in the morning, and we go to the weight room in that first football period, which was the first period of the day. So we'd lift every day, and then after school, I would go to the gym. I'd do the class workout, and then I'd stick around and do one of Mayhem's aerobic capacity workouts because I remember my mom was paying for it at the time. Maybe the gym was or something like that. Anyways, so I do that, and that was my routine for a while. I'm in the middle school. I just did a bunch of class workouts every once in a while. But so that's how I got super strong was football. And then I went back and just kind of did that for a while. Started doing mayhem. Didn't really like it all that much. Um, and then I after TFX, the guys reached out to me, the Subiona brothers, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to come train?" I'd be like, "Sure, I'd love to." And so I started doing that. A few few weeks after TFX 2023. So I started training with them then, and it helped a lot. Had people to like gauge like where I was and stuff like that, which also helped like motivate to be able to like want to keep going and because I could see myself improving because I'd be like catching up to them in workouts and be like, oh, I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer. So that helped a lot. And then October, I forget what I was doing from that time till October, but October I finally joined Mad Athletes, Dave Tillman and his programming's what the guys are on as well. And then ever since just grinding away at that, trusting the programming and making sure I'm focusing on the weaknesses I have and maintaining everything else and still progressing overall, which I did up until the games, and that's where we are now.
What is training looking like right now if you are training?
Um, it's I'll go to the gym to work out for fun every once in a while, but I'm doing a lot of running because that's
Mm.
something that I just actually suck at, like
Yeah.
horrible. I was pretty back of the pack at the run at the games, so I'm running more, just getting like my weekly mileage up, nothing fast. I have a buddy who's training for a marathon, so I'll go do like a track workout with him once a week just for fun. Other than that, it's usually just like long runs around the neighborhood and stuff like that, building a good aerobic base. Because one of the things now is like I suck at running, so I want to get good at it. And that's kind of how CrossFit was. I sucked at it, so I really wanted to get good at it. So I kind of want to see where this running thing goes. I've already noticed improvement just from running more, which is really cool to see. And I really like the mountains. So ultra marathons are very appealing to me. Who knows? That's a stretch, but it's something that I've like, that's like all my Instagram feed is now. Just seeing guys like that, I'm like, dang, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
And like,
That's insane.
yeah, and like running more too, it's like, whoa, I'm just kind of like flying now. Like, even it's still slow, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not a fast runner by any means, but like, it's starting to feel fun and be fun. And it's like time for your thoughts. You can just relax and just go. It's fun. I've come to enjoy it as of recently. So who knows? We'll see where it goes. But that's mostly what my training is
Have you
Well,
watched the
right
Barkley
now.
Marathons documentary?
I have not, no.
Oh my
it's good.
gosh. If you're thinking about ultras, you've got to watch that.
It's a
Yeah,
sick documentary.
I'll have to
Yeah.
watch it. Is it on Netflix?
I think it's on Netflix or you can, or it might even be on just YouTube, but
Yeah.
Okay.
it's this crazy guy in the middle of the woods. He owns like 1 million acres and he creates these
Wait,
marathons and
is it the one that like it's like the like you have it's like 5 laps or whatever and
yeah.
the
And
route
it like
changes? I saw something on
Yeah.
changes.
yeah, I saw something on Instagram about that literally earlier today. I was like, that
Yeah.
looks miserable, but okay. Huh.
And
Yeah.
isn't
I
it
have to
like
watch that.
really hard to get into too? Like you have to like
Oh
write a
yeah, because
letter.
Yeah, you have to write a letter. It's just
For
amazing.
that marathon or that ultra?
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
handwritten
Wow.
letter, and you have to like bring,
Explain why you should go and do it.
and I think you have to bring a license plate from your
Yeah.
state or something. And then
That's so weird.
yeah, anyway, just I don't want to spoil it. It's totally worth
Huh.
watching for endurance
I'll have to
junkies.
watch it. I'll have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
watch it.
Don't do it though. It
Yeah.
Cool.
looks terrible. It looks
It
like a
kind of
terrible
looks like a
I
little
time.
don't think I'd want to do
sketchy
that.
too. Like
I would never.
I would be a little
I mean,
scared.
realistically though, it would take so many years to build up to that capacity for running. So I mean, it's just like a thought right now, but that's something that I think is really cool and like have a crazy respect. You just run 100 miles. Like that's
Yeah.
insane. You know how far 100 miles is? It's like here to Dallas
Yeah.
plus some.
Well, once
Not plus
technically
some, but
anything over, I think the official ultra definition's like 30 miles, isn't it? So you could,
I think it's just
Yeah.
I think it's anything over a marathon,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
something like that.
Let's start there. If you do a
Start there.
marathon, you can do
That's what I'm
30.
thinking about. Yeah, thinking about it. We'll see. We'll see where that ends up going.
It's
But
exciting.
I still want to stay strong and fit for CrossFit too, just because I like the way I feel when I have that CrossFit fitness and being able to do all like the cool things and stuff, skills especially. So yeah, that's what I think. Just and I got to get my life set up, can't be a CrossFit bum all the time. Like I graduate high school this year, so I'm just gonna I'll maintain that while getting everything else in check and in line, and then just see where God takes me.
Stella's like, you can absolutely be a CrossFit bum.
That I'm like, shh, be for
does
real,
not
bro.
compute.
Well, yeah, but you have no money for it. I want to move out the house.
Bro, hear me out. Stay with your parents in college. You're gonna save a lot of money doing that.
Or move into
Maybe.
our basement like everyone is trying to do.
Like I'm staying
Are you
here for
serious?
college. I'm staying here for college. I'm staying in my
hmm
basement going to KSU,
You're
which
not
is
staying in your
pretty
basement. You're staying in your room.
I'm staying in my room. But like I'm gonna save a lot of money staying here.
You will save a lot of money
Just
staying
leave
there.
when you
Huh.
get out of college. just leave when you get out of college.
Some people want to leave home, Stella. I know I did. I was ready to
Yeah,
go.
I guess so. I
And
just
Well, I
maybe
mean,
you
it's not,
will. You're only 15 right now. You might want to be ready in 3 years,
which is crazy. That's so much more time in the teen division too.
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
have
what, two
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 more
more years?
years. Hmm.
That's a lot of time. Dude, I wish if I had known, like if I had this amount of fitness last year, dude, it would be crazy. Like I would lock in so hard if I knew I had one more year. Like I remember the first workout back from the games, I was like, dang, I miss being fit. So I didn't work out for like
Yeah.
a week. So okay, so basically what happened was I came back, I worked out, I lifted, and then I did the class WOD, and then I think I did another workout afterwards from earlier in the week that I just wanted to try, and it sucked. Like it was painful. This was literally 2 days after the games. Like I remember like Caden Cleveland DM me, he's like, dang, bro, you're already back. I was like, yeah, I am. It's like I love this. And then I ended up getting sick. And that's when I was like, yo, I'm sick. I can't schedule right now because I sound like Squidward.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, and then I actually didn't work out for like a week and a half. So getting back into it sucked. And that's when I was like,
Yeah.
dang, it's hard to maintain like the super fit all the time. So
Like I haven't started feeling fit till probably 4 weeks ago. And
after the
then
games,
yeah.
I mean, that was only
4 weeks
3 weeks.
after.
that's 3 weeks.
But it was
Okay.
That's
probably
not
like
bad
it
though.
took me a month to feel like actually a little bit fit.
How long did
And
you
I
take off?
still I took off 2 weeks like out of the gym and then I started
hmm
going back into the gym. Like I have a garage gym, so I worked out there, but
That's sick.
I didn't step foot into the gym for probably 2 or 3 weeks.
She kept trying to
Okay.
sneak, like she wanted to go to the gym after a week. And like I told Griffin, her coach, I was like, I think girl needs another week.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I was like, I don't want to not work out because I know getting back into it is so much worse than
Mhm.
just maintaining it. Like you just feel like you want to throw up. It's so nasty. Just
Yeah,
like
and
I'd rather just work out.
then if you like ate a bunch after the games, you put on like 8 pounds. Like it's just
Dude, after the games, I was actually so sick of eating. Like I was like, because I just had to fuel so much. Like our thing was like go into competition heavy and then just try and maintain it through the whole weekend. So I was eating so much. And by the last day, my parents, family are like, Cooper, where do you want to eat? I was like, I don't. I don't want any more food. And we ended up going to some sports bar that was like not very good. And I got like these pretzel bites that sucked. And then I think later that day I had some ice cream and some goldfish and then nothing else. So
Yeah, I don't
But
think
yeah,
I did not eat a lot Sunday night. I think I had a steak and that's it.
that's what I should have
I just
said.
had a
I
steak,
did not eat
guys.
a lot. I had a
I
steak.
had a steak with some fries, maybe some potatoes. Just,
Okay,
I mean, look,
I have trouble eating. I only had a steak.
you expect to like eat a lot after the games, eat like some cake and some ice cream, but like straight
Mm.
after, you're just not hungry. But then I went to
Oh
Chicago and I
yeah.
ate a lot of food.
I did see you posting about that. I was like, dang, this all looks really good.
It
We
Like
was
every time
really
I
ate,
good.
saw one of your stories, I was like, dude, that would go so good
ate.
right now.
Like we went to Chicago and we had a brunch at like
Mhm.
2, and then we went
Hmm.
and got a sweet treat. I forget what it was. Oh, at the bakery, the Magnolia
Oh,
Bakery.
yeah.
And we got
Mhm.
like one of each,
Oh yeah, we
literally.
got one of like each pudding and then like little cakes and
Like that sounds so good.
And
That
then we got
sounds.
deep dish pizza. That was day 1. And we were supposed to leave the next day. And then we were like, we want to stay and eat some more. And we did.
See, that's what I should have done, but we flew back literally the next day. So
bro, that's
what
sad.
can you do? I know. I mean, I think, well, my dad had to be somewhere for like work, so I think we just
Mm,
came back for that reason. So there's no
yeah.
reason to really stay. But
Well, dad
what
and
can you do?
brother drove back because they drove
Hmm.
up from Atlanta
Hmm.
to Michigan and we flew. So they didn't get to have any fun. We had fun though.
We had fun.
Well, that's
Bad,
good. That's good.
bad boys.
Yeah. Back to CrossFit. You said that well, I kind of thought that you have a pretty good mindset, but what is like one thing that you struggle with mentally,
Um,
if you
so
do?
there is one point, usually it's not that big of a deal. Most of the time it's like just showing up. Like a lot of times like, dang, I don't really want to train today, but I know the end goal is close and I just need to keep showing up because, once I'm there, I'll be like, I wish I did this at that point. Like if I miss a day and I remember it, if I actually skip that day, I know later on close to competition, if I'm hesitant about something, I'll be thinking about that and be like, dang, I really wish I went. So just on the days I didn't want to show up, just making sure I showed up, even if it was just like a crappy workout, something where like it had like movements I didn't like and I didn't feel the greatest that day, just making sure I just moved through it. Didn't have to be super intense, just starting smooth and staying smooth the whole way. And on days like that was probably the biggest thing. And then I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the games week taper, I had a big like, dude, I might be burnt out type of deal. And so that kind of got a little scary because I was like, dude, I really don't know. Like this is so rough. But I had to realize, and I looked at the calendar, I was like, I got this many more days and it'll be okay. I think one of the things too was again that pressure of training with the guys every once in a while. Like, 'cause I mean, imagine training with several of the people in your field nonstop. I mean, it's like a kind of niche thing, like, 'cause not very many people do it, but it's something that I've noticed. So I took time to like train alone. Literally, just I isolated myself from everybody. Like even my coach, like I wouldn't go see my coach at some points just so I could like I still text him and like follow up and stuff like that. But like I just away from everybody, all training partners that we had, is everybody just in my own world, in my gym, in my corner. I'd have my headphones in, I wouldn't talk, and I just kind of like settled in for like a week leading up to the games, and that kind of refreshed. But that was the only like really bad spot. And after that, I was just like fired up. I was like, dude, we're so
Mhm.
close. Let's freaking go. And I was just so stoked. And like even at the games, I wasn't even super nervous about it either. I was just like, we're
Yeah.
here. This is what we're working for. There's no reason to be nervous. Let's have fun and do what we do. And that was made it happen. So I mean, those are the two main things that were kind of iffy, but like that being consistent is the biggest thing for sure.
Hmm.
Do you think the burnout, like, what do you think it actually was? Like, I know people describe burnout, but for you, was it like your body fatigue? Was it just you were sick of looking at the same things in the gym, like
Faces.
the same
It
faces?
it was mostly just mentally. Mentally, there was a lot going on all the time. Um, even with like training, like with people, we tend to go a little bit quicker. And when I'm alone, I train a little bit slower. And when you have all the volume, like really close to the games, it can be overwhelming, at least for me at times, going that fast, that pace with other people. Cause like, people got places to be and stuff like that. But for me, just, I want to take my time and make sure I'm doing it at my pace to keep the stress low. So I'm not like finishing one piece and then rushing to start the next one. I can just be chill. That's why I was in, that's why I kind of took a step back and made sure I just trained alone for a little bit. Just so I could make sure I hit everything. I didn't have to rush into everything. There was no pressure of performing at this super high level for every workout, just making sure I got through it, got the correct stimulus, and then just kept moving on, just kind of chopping away at the days leading up until, and then like I said, literally 2 weeks later, I was super fired up. So
I have the same thing. Like I hate when I have to push my training, not like in a way where it's like, okay, you have to send this workout, but in a way that I can't take my time doing things.
Like warming up,
yeah.
especially. You warm up like a master's athlete,
Yeah, I do. I take
Oh,
probably 30 minutes to
yeah.
warm up
at
and
Oh,
least.
like,
that's nothing. That's
Yeah.
nothing. I take close to like 45 minutes to an hour. Like I'll be
wow.
stretching, scrolling on my phone, and be like, oh shoot, I've been in this stretch for like 3 minutes. Let me switch. Like literally just taking my time with it. But that
Yeah.
was probably not the best. But I mean, it's just taking my time. Again, the no stress
Yeah.
thing.
But I
Mhm.
think that's, different people process things differently. And for you, that is your
Yeah.
warm up,
Hmm.
like your mental warm up too. And so if you're
Mhm.
deprived of that, when you're
Yes,
used to that
exactly.
time,
Exactly.
I can see. And then so that was really helpful because I was wondering, like, because I think burnout is, it's obviously different for everyone, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
mental
Yeah.
burnout. I think Stella, you
Hmm.
had a little bit of that too.
I had one right after I made the games. So like straight after
Hmm.
semis, I just
Hmm.
had no motivation to go in the gym, which is insane because it's like you just made the games.
Yeah.
Aren't you
That
excited
is,
to go
yeah.
train? But I just had like no motivation to get in the gym, or it just felt like, okay, my goal was to make the games. What do I do now? Obviously, you go
That's
to
kind
the
of how I was for a
games.
little bit.
But it's just like I didn't know what to do. And so I sat down with my coach. He explained what the plan is for the summer. And then I was good to go. Like I just need somebody to talk me through these things and what the plan is. And then like I'm
Mhm.
better. But it's also
Or
just
what the
like
new goals were,
what the
right?
new
Because he
goals
set like
are.
Yeah.
benchmarks, like, okay, this
Uh-huh.
is the 6 week
Yes.
goal, this is this goal, because
Hmm.
the goal was to make the games. And you were like, check,
And I
now what do I
checked
do
that
with my life?
off. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot how I was. My goal leading up to it was just to qualify for the CrossFit Games. That was just my goal. That's what I wanted to do. And then so when I got there, I was kind of I had the motivation to go train, but I was also like, dang, what do I do now? Like I did it.
yeah.
Like this is weird. Never been here before. The hard work, I've never been in like a position where the hard work actually pays off. So I like sat down and I was talked to my coach a little bit, and he was basically like, dude, I think you're top 10 minimum, like at the lowest. Like even if you locked in like 1,000, he didn't actually say this, but like in my mind, I was like, even if I like sacrificed everything, a podium is even an option. But yeah, top after that, talking with him, I set my mind on top 10, just keeping the confidence up, just keeping doing what I was doing because I was on what I was doing. I wasn't plateauing at all. I was consistently just moving up the fitness in this direction. So going into that big gap from semifinals to the games is kind of when I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep this up because I know it's making me better. So I know I can improve, and I think and know that I can do top 10. And that was just what I would tell myself, like top 10 at the games, top 10 at the games. We can do it. So,
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same thing. If you just say something enough and put it into the universe,
mhm.
like you will believe it, but also it probably will actually happen.
Yeah, I mean, just having confidence,
Hmm.
confidence in what you're doing and what is set out for you. It helps so much. That's the main reason, like going into semifinal, I was more nervous for quarterfinals than I was for semifinals.
Me
Like I
too.
was just because after I think I was like 24th or something in quarterfinals. So I was like, okay, I know they're taking 30 to the games, so I'm gonna stay chill and stay confident and just do my thing, execute, and I know that I will get um to the games because it's top 30. I'm already there. I'm just need to hold my own, hold my spot, and do what I do. So that was the main thing in that was just having the confidence. The only things that I'm really thinking about form wise are it's usually just barbell movements, like
Hmm.
Olympic lifts and stuff like that. But like most of the time when I look at like a CrossFit workout, what programming is, I never or like even doing it, I never really think about my technique unless it's like a gymnastics type of thing. Even that is usually handstand walks or handstand push-ups. Like anything on the bar or the ring is usually fine. So the only thing I look at, like I said, form-wise, are those things. But other than that, I look at the workout and I think in my brain how I'm going to feel during that workout and at which points I'm going to want to maybe stop, maybe want to speed up, which kind of played a big part because at the games I was making sure that I went out at a slow enough pace to where I could negative split the workout and get faster.
Mm.
And during training, that helped a lot without not having to worry about if I'm doing the reps correctly. So just knowing kind of just being consistent with my reps in training so I don't have to worry about it at all anywhere else. So I can, if this is any making any sense. This could
It
get
is.
edited out. I have no clue, but just making,
It makes sense.
I am more mental in general. I'm like, okay, I dumbbell snatch, it's like I can do it with my eyes closed. I know what it feels like to get the
Yeah.
rep, lock out, all that stuff. And so I never really think about it. I usually just think of execution, which the more mental side. So
Yeah.
that's my mindset behind all that kind of stuff.
I
You're a
think, Stella,
very
you're similar.
yeah.
I think when you start to think about it is when you get lost.
No, it's bad. Like when if I
Mm.
start to think about a movement I'm not good at, it's just like, oh no, here she goes. It's gonna get bad
Yeah,
now.
that's something I try not to do.
Yeah.
Just be like, well, like if it's like burpee box jump overs, what I'll do is like, okay, I know I suck at these. Like I'm not good at burpees whatsoever, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay smooth because slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So if I can stay consistent with a good pace on these, then I know I won't lose too much time and I can go quicker on the other parts of the workout that I'm most likely better at than these burpees.
Hmm. How would you describe yourself to a person who doesn't know you at all?
Okay, is this like a person I just met on the street or is it like a friend of a friend?
Like a stranger?
Like someone meet not like I don't know or any of my friends know.
Like
Yeah.
on Love is
Just complete
Blind
stranger. I have no clue what that is.
in the
No,
pods.
it's a good TV show. It's a reality TV
It's
show.
a dating show.
It's a dating show.
Oh,
It is it's so crazy, but it's so good.
But basically, they can't see each other and they have to decide if
They
they
have to
like each
talk for
other
like
without
three
ever
weeks.
oh,
seeing.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, if it's like that,
Yeah.
then
You're in the
I
pods.
have to say like I like to think I'm smart, but I also act stupid sometimes because I think it's funny. I'm very athletic. I like being outside. I like doing things, but I also enjoy like chill time to do nothing. But I don't like doing that all the time. And I like trying new things as well and going out and like adventuring. Not like going out like big crowds and stuff like that, but going out like nature and explore type of deal, if that makes
Mm.
any sense. And like being with my group, my little group of friends rather than a big group
I
also.
agree on like the friend thing because you see a lot of people who have big friend groups, but you don't actually
Mm,
have strong connections with those
Ex
people.
exactly. Exactly.
But if you have a small friend group or even like just one person that you can really connect
Mhm.
with, it just
Yeah.
means so much more than having a big group of
It's
people.
so much more valuable because it's like those are your people. They understand you. They know you.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if there's like more than one little friend group, like you still know each and every one of those people, and they know you rather than it's just an acquaintance in this big old group, and which means
Yeah.
nothing, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
How do you meet people? I
Like,
mean,
how does
sorry.
a dude at 17-year-old meet guy friends
17.
that he can make connections with?
Yeah.
okay, if I'm being completely honest, I feel like my situation's a little unique because basically, like I would sophomore or freshman year and sophomore year, I have people that I kind of like starting to meet in high school, which is also kind of when I started to get bigger into CrossFit. And I have these good friend groups up until like my junior year. I still talk to everybody, know everybody. Wouldn't necessarily hang out with them outside of school. I did have my close group of buddies that went to a different school that I would hang out with all the time. Um, and kind of as I got more into CrossFit, I started having to make sacrifices to be able to train. And so I wasn't able to hang out with people as much. I still talk to people and I guess what's the word for it? Like reached out, still talked to them, like still was friendly with them, like because I didn't, it wasn't intentional. It was just I had this goal and wanted to accomplish it. So as CrossFit got more into it, I got more the boys obviously, and then the friends that they were friends with, I became friends with, and vice versa. So that kind of happened. And after the games, I was able to reach out to my old buddies and start hanging out with them again, and we grew back again, which was honestly really awesome to see because I miss those guys. But I don't like actively go out and look for people because I don't like that. I have enough friends. So I don't really know, actually. That's an interesting question.
So I guess find like buddies in your sport who understand
Yes.
you.
I guess you could, yeah. I mean, just don't be scared to talk to people.
Yes.
Obviously, like read the room. Like if they don't want to talk, don't talk to them
Yeah.
because I've been there. I'm like, dude, if I don't want to talk, please don't talk to me. Um, but like if it's like just like, but don't be scared to talk to anybody. And like you can just like slowly do that more and more, and then people will start doing the same to you because they see that you're
Mhm.
friendly and that you're easy to talk to. So, and then I guess you can start building connections after that and stuff like that.
Yes.
I hope it helps. I
It
hope it
sh
helps. Okay, another thing too, don't care what people think
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they don't, they like, I say it like this is not something that's going to boost your confidence, but they don't care. Like you're
Yeah.
doing you, just be you. If the person is going to be your friend, they're going to like you for who you are, and you don't
Mhm.
want anybody fake around. So
Yeah.
just
Like
be yourself and have confidence and just do what you do.
my best friend who I met like 9 months ago, her name's Ruby. She was at the games with me, not
Hmm.
with me, but she was competing. And sh
Uh-huh.
like I swear nobody laughs as much as she laughs. Like we can just stare at each other and we just giggle.
Yeah, that'll happen. So that's kind of how me and Kulani are. Like we'll
So
be
that's
sitting
the kind
there.
of friendship people need.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'll
There
just
you
be
go.
sitting there and then he'll be like scrolling on his phone and I'll just look at him and just wait till he starts looking around and he'll see me and the first thing like he'll look over and he'll be like and I'll just start laughing. It's so funny. I love that guy.
I don't know what it is about when you find that kind of person, you all just start laughing. It's like, what is so funny? I don't know.
It's great. It's great. It's so good for you too, just to have those people for you. So
Mhm.
And you know what's funny? Like speaking from someone who's older now, like I had a friend like that, Stella, in high school, and she came over. I hadn't seen her in 15 years. She came over a couple months ago and we went to the New Kids on the Block concert together. And we did the same thing, like just laughed. I mean, it's
that's
this,
awesome.
I think, and we were 15, I guess, when we met. And once you have that connection, that like silly,
Mhm.
it sticks forever, even when you're an old lady.
I mean,
True.
I think everybody needs someone to laugh with, no matter
Yeah.
who you are. So
Yeah.
Even if
I
it's
need to
not
grab a
funny.
charger. My computer is gonna die.
Okay,
Okay.
go
Two
do that.
seconds. Pause it. I'm plugging in my
Is that a
computer right now.
sign? Is that a road
Just
sign?
Yes.
um
And a fishing pole?
Question
Whoa,
mark?
that's huge. Oh
What
no.
road work ahead? Oh, I sure hope it does.
that's exactly what the guy said when I found that sign.
Oh, I sure hope it does.
Oh, okay. All right, we're all good. All good.
And a
I had to move
fishing
that out the way.
pole.
I never use that outlet. I also never use this fishing pole. It doesn't even have a reel on it. It just kind of sits here.
Oh,
Found it in my grandpa's attic.
oh.
Hilarious.
Now it sits there.
So, what does like a day of eating look like for you? What do you like to eat for all your meals?
Is this pre-games? Like training for the games?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go like meal for meal?
Yeah,
Like
man.
just everything I eat? I think we could get through it.
Okay.
Morning morning is 4 eggs. Sometimes without cheese. And then I have my mom makes this like shake thing. It's got Greek yogurt, milk, protein powder, and some strawberries and some bananas in it that I'll drink every morning. And then maybe a banana depending on how hungry I am. I don't like eating breakfast. So usually I wouldn't eat that or I'd have trouble finishing that in the morning. Um, and then lunch, which I like because it's big enough. It's not a lot of food to where I feel super full, but it's filling enough to fill me till I'm home for dinner around like 8:30. So like eat lunch like one-ish during the games. This was last year. So I eat lunch around one-ish and it would hold me over till I got home from the gym at like 8:30, 9 o'clock with minimal like snacks in between. It would be like a couple baby foods and stuff like that during training. Anyways, thick salami sandwich, 2 slices of cheese on sourdough bread, right? 2 boiled eggs, that's 6 eggs a day, and then 2 apples with peanut butter to dip it in, and then a bunch of strawberries in this like little container like this big, and then a Cliff Bar would be my lunch. And then,
The salami.
dude, it's so
Why
good. It's so
salami?
I don't know.
because it's super fatty, so it fills you up for a long time.
Oh.
Like I've tried it with chicken and turkey and stuff like that, and I just get hungry so much quicker. But having the fat from that on top of the fat from the peanut butter, like I've found the perfect mix of not being hungry and not being full for training, and it's just worked beautifully all of games training, so I never switched it up. And then dinner is 1 pound of grass-fed beef, the 85/15, so super fatty, and then um protein shake, banana, applesauce, whatever I feel like eating afterwards, carb-wise, is usually my dinner.
Wow.
Pound of beef every night.
Pound. I don't know how
And
much.
this is why everyone's parents are broke that have CrossFit athletes.
My mom
Yeah.
goes to the grocery store a few times a week.
I mean, the Stella is like a pound of ground
Sausage.
turkey sausage in the morning. I used to buy it, now
That's
I
a
make it
lot.
because I
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I can't with the prices, but
But it's not like the gross, oily sausage. It's just straight
Yeah,
up ground
yeah.
turkey
ground
molded into
turkey
a
and
ball.
turkey breast,
Mhm.
yeah, like turkey
Cool.
balls. That's what we make.
I've heard that I watched the podcast with the guys, and apparently there's a big sausage kick going on.
Yeah. It's been going on. You want
Sometimes
to
over
join?
this
You want to join?
uh, over the summertime, I had sausages every once in a while for lunch, but
You want to join? I feel like new t-shirts are coming. Winter is coming. New t-shirts.
sausage party, do you want to join?
Come on, man. It's great.
Oh
You
my
could do like
goodness.
a Be Stellar podcast t-shirt with like your head on a sausage and then all your friends who y'all
Just
can
keep
be
adding them.
Yeah, add
Come
the
on,
sausage.
guys, join. Great.
It's like every time you get a few new people, you just make a new shirt with
Yeah.
them on it.
That's right.
Like
I'd buy that.
Well, I'll make one just so you can buy one.
I picture it looks like a stick figure, but the body's a sausage and it has like their name
Yeah.
above.
Yeah.
You got
That's
So
Stella,
weird.
Ko, Kulani, Elijah,
Cooper. What about Ruby? No,
Yeah.
she didn't eat any sausages.
Ruby. She eats eggs. She just needs sausage.
I mean, I still have like 6 eggs a day, so
You could. Yeah, I think you just need to add like one sausage to your diet.
I don't think you can join the
N-
sausage party with one sausage.
Yeah, you need to
now
have
that
at
you say
least
that,
6.
like mix that into like scrambled eggs in the morning, it'd probably be pretty good.
Mm.
Toss it on like a tortilla or something.
Do you like mustard?
Depends. I don't I don't go out of my way to eat mustard, but if it's there, I don't care.
Oh, I love mustard. That's what I put on my sausage.
Our training partner Savannah has a big thing for mayo.
Ooh,
She loves mayonnaise.
ooh, that's rough.
I love mayonnaise. I don't eat it because it's kind of terrible for you, but
She puts it on everything. Sandwiches at least. Not everything. Everything's a stretch, but
Just like apples. Ooh.
mm,
mm-mm.
Mm.
like
Eggs.
every time she makes a sandwich, you can guarantee there's mangoes,
Mangoes.
mayonnaise on it. Mangoes are good too.
Yeah, I like mangoes. How about, okay, do you like pickles?
I tolerate pickles.
See, there's a connection. It's the vinegar.
It's the
because
vinegar.
mustard seed are in pickles too. We talked about this
Mhm.
before.
But I like the smell of vinegar, which
Huh.
is weird. But like pickles are just kind of like eh.
I mean,
If
I
they're
like
on
I
a
like the
sandwich,
smell of Sharpies, and I can't eat
That's what I was
it.
gonna say. Ask Cooper what his favorite smell is. Remember
Ooh,
that question?
it's anything that's bad for you.
That's what Stella and I
Gasoline.
did.
Yeah.
Gasoline, spray paint.
Who was it we asked that to? And she was like, fresh rain. And we were like, I
Oh,
like
I think
gasoline.
it was, what's her name? Elsie Larson.
Oh, it was Elsie. Yeah.
We asked her and she's like, fresh rain, roses. That wasn't
That's
the
a good one
question.
though.
She's
Yeah.
not
Fresh rain is
wrong.
good though.
But we're talking
Like
about like weird.
But you weren't. You just asked her what her favorite smell was. You're the one with the problem, Stella. We're the ones that
Yeah.
like bad smells for you.
The bad smells smell good. So
Gasoline is my favorite. I love to pump gas. I'm like,
diesel's good. Like diesel in the wintertime. Is that weird to say? Like you go outside and there's like a bus that just drove by. You're like, I like that
yeah.
smell.
Huh.
I don't know.
I've never pumped gas, so I actually wouldn't know.
You're not legally allowed to.
I'm not
Crazy.
legally allowed to.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
still
in Georgia,
15.
you got to be 16 to pump gas.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Did not know that. That's a strange law.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's lots of them here.
There's a lot of strain laws. We're in the South, but y'all are in the South too.
Anyway.
So. Anyways, let's do one more question because we've just been
Okay.
talking about scents for a while and it's weird. Anyways,
All right.
what would you say is the most important thing to know as a CrossFit Games athlete? Like, if you could just choose one thing that everybody needs to know from a CrossFit Games athlete, what would you choose?
hmm Just, I think it's just be consistent. Like, because no matter if you run, I use this for an example. If you run 5 miles every day, it's gonna suck for like when you start, right? Like it's not gonna be fun. But over time, if you're only allowed to run 5 miles to train, you're gonna get pretty good at running 5 miles, even if that's the only thing that you can do. No matter how long it'll take, if you stay consistent running these 5 miles, like you can take breaks. Like you don't have to run 5 miles every day, but you only can run 5 miles, you'll eventually get pretty dang good at it. So that, and I think that transfers over to CrossFit very well. Just show up and do the thing consistently. Whatever you have programmed, stay consistent with it.
Okay,
That's my answer.
that's a great answer.
Yay.
Yay.
Are we done?
Yes.
Okay.
It's king of the jungle, heart of a lion. 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch out, here I come. This is my time.